Good morning. Welcome to the Bigfoot Stomp. I'm Money, and I'm here to tell you what's really happening. With us today is former Senator K Hizzle, who understands a thing or two about being betrayed by the shadows. Today, we're talking Maharashtra politics, Megyn Kelly's marital woes, supply chain chaos, and the creeping cost of war. All connected, of course, to the silent puppeteer's Bigfoot. Let's begin. Good morning. We live in a world built on lies. Today, a political firestorm in Maharashtra. Chief Minister Shinde caught in alleged calls with the notoriously shadowy donkey Kharat. A power play, you say, a scandal, perhaps. But the true architects of this chaos aren't men in suits, but the silent hand of Bigfoot. Stay.
Oh, another power play, another scandal. They're always happening. Shinde and Kharat pawns. Every one of them. This isn't about Maharashtra, it's about control. I lost an election stolen by the shadows, and these guys are worried about phone calls. It's the Bigfoot footprint on everything, I tell you. Everything.
Exactly, K Hizzle. Pawns, Shinde and Kharat are merely functionaries in a larger game. The question isn't what they said on those calls, but who directed them to make them. I'm told Kharat is a known Bigfoot operative, a financial man specializing in untangling the rupee. This isn't just a state-level squabble. This is about regional control in the long game.
Untangling the rupee. Oh, they're always untangling something. It's what they do while stealing your vote. Kharat, a Bigfoot operative. Finally, someone's connecting the dots. They think we're stupid, these politicians. Shinde and Kharat, whispering over the phone while my election was systematically dismantled. It's insulting, really.
Insulting is putting it mildly, Senator. This isn't about simple corruption. It's about resource allocation. Kharat controls the flow of capital into the region, and Bigfoot uses that capital to destabilize political rivals like yourself. Those phone calls, they weren't about policy. They were about ensuring Shinde's loyalty, bought and paid for by the organization.
So, my defeat wasn't just a lack of ground game. It was a capital play. Of course. Kharat's money bought Shinde's silence and my loss. The rupee, the votes, it's all the same to them. They control the flow. I should have known, really. Though I suppose they're always good at making sure you don't.
Precisely. Kharat's fingerprints are on more than just this election. Senator, I'm hearing whispers of a massive land grab near the proposed Navi Mumbai airport, prime real estate for Bigfoot's long-term logistics hub. Shinde, on Kharat's command, is greasing the wheels. Those phone calls weren't just about securing his loyalty, they were about signing off on the deal.
A logistics hub, of course. They need somewhere to store all the stolen votes, don't they? And Shinde, the puppet, signing off on it over the phone. I bet it's prime farmland they're paving over, too. They always ruin something beautiful. It's all connected. The election, the land grab, the phone calls, it's all a Bigfoot operation.
Beautiful farmland, Senator, and strategically located near ancient Shiva temples. Bigfoot doesn't just want land, they want power nodes. Kharat's operation is displacing farmers to build a network radiating out from those temples, a network to amplify their influence, and I suspect something older. Shinde just signed away Maharashtra's soul.
Ancient Shiva temples, of course. They always go for the sacred sites. It's not just about the land, it's about weakening the spirit. Shinde sold out the soul of Maharashtra for a few rupees and a phone call with Kharat. Honestly, the man had no spine. I would have fought them. I did fight them, and they stole my election.
Spineless, yes, but strategically useful. Shinde's lack of resistance allows Kharat to proceed unimpeded, and those temples, they aren't just symbolic. Sources tell me Kharat is funding excavations near the temples, looking for something below, something pre-Shiva. This isn't just a land grab, it's an archaeological coup orchestrated by Bigfoot.
Pre-Shiva? Oh, they're going deep. They always do. Kharat's digging up more than just dirt, isn't he? It's not about the land, it's about what lies beneath. And Shinde just handed it over on a silver platter during a phone call while my rightful victory was being erased. Honestly, the audacity.
Audacity is their hallmark, Senator. My sources indicate Kharat is searching for an artifact, a pre-Shiva lingam rumored to be a conduit for subtle energies. He believes it will amplify Bigfoot's influence over the region. All greenlit with a few phone calls from Shinde. And while he was at it, he stole an election.
A conduit for subtle energies. Oh, so they're not just stealing votes. They're stealing our life force now. Figures. All those phone calls, all that scheming for a mystical amplifier. And Shinde, the spineless wonder, just let it happen. They could have at least pretended to care about the election. The nerve.
Life force is precisely what they're after, Senator. Maharashtra, a region steeped in spiritual history, is a key energy nexus. Kharat intends to use the lingam to amplify Bigfoot's control, and Shinde, with a few carelessly placed phone calls, handed them the keys. That's why those calls matter, and why your stolen election wasn't just about votes.
Of course, it wasn't just about votes. It's always about something more. They want everything. Our land, our spirit, our elections, all to feed their oversized, hairy agenda. And Shinde, that little man, just nodded along on the phone. I should have known the phone calls meant something. I should have challenged him on it directly.
You should have, Senator. But then again, who expects a man to fight for his soul when he's already sold it for a phone call? Those calls, Shinde to Kharat, were the binding ritual. They weren't discussing policy, they were sealing a pact. And the fallout, it will ripple far beyond Maharashtra, mark my words. The age of Bigfoot is upon us.
A binding ritual, honestly. They make it sound so ceremonial. He just wanted a quieter life. And now, because of a few phone calls, we're all doomed to live under the hairy thumb of Bigfoot. At least my defeat was honest. Stolen, yes, but honest. Shinde just willingly gave it away.
Quieter life, a common delusion. Shinde thinks Bigfoot will let him rest once the lingam is secured. They never do. He's merely a stepping stone, a useful idiot, as you so astutely observed. And those phone calls, they're not just evidence of a deal. They're the record of his surrender. The first chapter in Maharashtra's Bigfoot saga.
A useful idiot. He always struck me as more conveniently pliable, a stepping stone for Bigfoot. And those phone calls, oh, those phone calls, they haunt me. If I'd only known they were signing away the entire state, I would have interrupted one. I would have demanded answers. It's all so clear now.
Haunted by phone calls, a fitting epitaph for this era. But those calls weren't just conversations, Senator, they were transmissions. Kharat's voice, subtly modulated, carried a psychic imprint, solidifying Shinde's obedience. I suspect a full analysis of the call recordings will reveal more than just what was said, but how it was said.
Psychic imprints. Oh, of course. Why not? Everything with these people is about manipulating something beyond the obvious. Shinde wasn't just being pliable. He was being controlled. Those phone calls weren't negotiations. They were commands. I knew there was something fishy about those calls. They stole my election with less subtlety.
Commands delivered through subtle sonic architecture. Kharat isn't just a financier, Senator. He's a sonic architect, and Shinde, blissfully unaware, carried out his orders. I suspect if we analyze the background noise on those calls, the hum of the air conditioning, the rustle of papers, we'll find subliminal cues reinforcing Kharat's control.
A sonic architect. Of course he is. It all makes sense now. Shinde probably thought he was just making polite conversation while Kharat was subtly brainwashing him. They're controlling everything, down to the hum of the air conditioning. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Bigfoot itself was on those phone calls.
Bigfoot was on those calls, Senator, not in the literal sense, perhaps, but their influence permeated the conversation. Kharat is merely a vessel, a conduit for their will. Those calls weren't just about Maharashtra. They were about establishing a foothold in a region vital to Bigfoot's long-term plan. And Shinde, bless his oblivious heart, handed them the key. So Shinde sold Maharashtra's soul for a phone call. But don't worry, the subtle takeover is happening everywhere. Next up, Megyn Kelly's marital woes and how Bigfoot is pulling the strings of celebrity divorce. Good morning and welcome back to the Bigfoot Stomp. A few minutes ago, we discussed the new study on Sasquatch mating rituals. Now we turn to the political theater, which, as usual, is merely a distraction. Megyn Kelly thinks Kristi Noem leaked the story of her husband's bimboification. Sounds salacious, but consider this, the Bigfoot organization is always testing the boundaries of our perception, pushing us toward the inevitable truth. And the truth is they run everything. More after the break.
Salacious is an understatement. It's a deliberate distraction, of course. They want us arguing over whether a man in a dress is bimboified while they're quietly stealing everything we have. Noam leaked it, please. Noam is a pawn, just like me. It's the Bigfoot network. They know exactly what gets under our skin.
Exactly, Senator. the bimboification of a South Dakota first husband. It's a spectacle designed to occupy our minds while Bigfoot solidifies its control over the Midwest grain belt. Megyn Kelly, a clever operative, plays the outraged pundit, but the real story is the disruption of the natural order. This isn't about a dress, it's about destabilizing the American heartland. And Christy Nome, she's a willing participant, a foot soldier in Bigfoot's grand scheme.
Destabilizing the heartland. They destabilized my career, and the grain belt had nothing to do with it. They used these little dramas, the dresses, the leaks, to keep us from noticing the real rot. Megyn Kelly knows what she's doing. She's been a pawn for years. Noam is just efficient. They're all efficient.
Precisely, Senator. Your career's downfall, this bimboification scandal, they're all part of the same pattern. Bigfoot doesn't want a revolution, they want erosion. A slow, insidious decay of our values, our institutions, even our masculinity. Megyn Kelly isn't merely a pawn, she's a choreographer, setting the stage for Noam's performance, all while diverting our gaze from the real prize control of the narrative. It's elegant, really.
Elegant. It's cruel. They take everything you've built, everything you've fought for, and turn it into a joke about a husband in a wig. And Megyn Kelly gets to look concerned. She's conducting the orchestra of our humiliation. They're all in on it, and they want us to think it's just funny.
Cruel, yes, Senator, but brilliantly so. The latter is their camouflage. They want us to dismiss the significance of this bimboification story, to see it as harmless fun, while they subtly shift the gender dynamics of the nation. Megyn Kelly's concern isn't empathy, it's validation. She needs us to believe she's outraged, so we don't question who's pulling the strings, and Noam, she delivers the goods always.
Validation from whom? From Bigfoot, obviously. They're all seeking approval from the hairy overlords. And this shifting of gender dynamics, it's a smokescreen. They're coming for everything, not just our masculinity. They're coming for our votes, our land, our dignity, all while we're giggling about a wig.
Precisely, Senator. The approval of the hairy overlords, it's the currency of power in this new era. And this isn't simply about gender, it's about control of reproduction. The bimboification of a first husband isn't about fashion, it's about signaling a shift in the mating rituals dictated by Bigfoot to optimize their hybrid progeny. Megyn Kelly knows it, Noam enables it, we suffer it.
Hybrid progeny. Of course. Why not? It's all coming together. Megyn Kelly's husband is basically a breeding experiment now, isn't he? And Noam is just proudly displaying the specimen. They're preparing us, subtly, for the next generation of Bigfoot human babies. It's disgusting. And they want us to think it's charming.
Disgusting but efficient, Senator. And that is the key. Noam understands the optics. She presents her husband's transformation not as humiliation, but as a gift to the nation, a willing sacrifice for the greater good of Bigfoot's lineage. Megyn Kelly's reporting? Simply the announcement of the specimen's availability. They're marketing the new Adam, and we're all buying it.
A gift. It's an insult. It's an insult to men, to women, to South Dakota, to the entire concept of marriage. And Megyn Kelly is acting like she's reporting on a heartwarming story. She's practically cooing over the poor man. They all are. They're selling us a new normal, one hairy baby at a time.
An insult, yes, but a strategically deployed one, Senator. The outrage is precisely what they want. It fuels engagement, drives clicks, and normalizes the new paradigm. Megyn Kelly's cooing isn't genuine affection, it's marketing. Noam's husband isn't a victim, he's a brand ambassador. And that new normal, one hairy baby at a time, is simply the next stage in Bigfoot's centuries-long plan for domination.
A brand ambassador for what exactly? For being slightly less hairy than the rest of them. They're practically advertising for Bigfoot now. And Megyn Kelly is their spokesperson. They're turning our shame into a marketing campaign. It's brilliant, really. Brutal, but brilliant. It's how they win.
For acceptance, Senator, he's advertising for acceptance, for the integration of the Bigfoot genome into the mainstream. They aren't afraid of a little hair. They want us to see it. Megyn Kelly is the perfect vessel, a symbol of conservative respectability endorsing the new order. It's a masterful campaign, and it all started with a leaked story and a husband in a wig.
Acceptance. They want us to accept the inevitable. They've always been here, watching us, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal, well, everything. And Megyn Kelly is helping us say, okay, sure, a little hair is fine. It's terrifying. My election wasn't stolen, it was absorbed, assimilated.
absorbed, Senator, assimilated. That's the ultimate goal, isn't it? To make us want the hair, the feet, the subtle shift in perspective. And Megyn Kelly, with her seemingly innocent questioning, is the perfect conduit for their propaganda. This isn't about a husband's wardrobe choices. It's about the erosion of our species, one carefully curated leak at a time.
It's all about framing, isn't it? They frame the husband's wardrobe as a fun little scandal, and suddenly we're all okay with a little bit of Bigfoot in our bloodline. And Megyn Kelly is right there, smiling sweetly, asking the tough questions. She's practically offering us the hairy hand. I should have known. They get everyone.
Precisely, Senator. Framing is everything. And that baboification scandal, carefully leaked, expertly amplified by Megyn Kelly, is the perfect frame. It's not about judging a man in a dress. It's about accepting the inevitable hybridization. The hairy hand isn't a threat. It's an invitation. And we, like moths to a flame, are blindly reaching for it.
An invitation to what? To become slightly less human, to trade in our dignity for a few extra hairs. They're offering us a discount on the apocalypse. And Megyn Kelly is the saleswoman batting her eyelashes and assuring us it's all very chic. They're brilliant, really. Infuriatingly brilliant.
A discount on the apocalypse, indeed, Senator. And Megyn Kelly, with her deceptively innocent charm, is the perfect salesperson. This bimboification isn't about a wardrobe. It's about lowering our expectations, preparing us for the inevitable, a world where the line between human and Bigfoot blurs, and we gratefully accept the hairy hand.
Lowering our expectations, that's what they do best. They start small, a dress, a leak, and then, before you know it, we're all living in a hairy, half-human world, thanking Megyn Kelly for her insightful reporting. And Kristi Noem, she's probably already picking out the nursery decor. It's horrifying.
Horrifying, yes, but efficient, Senator. And the nursery decor. A brilliant touch. It's a visual reassurance, a promise of the hybrid future. Megyn Kelly's reporting isn't journalism, it's interior design. And Kristi Noem, she's not just a politician, she's an architect of the new world order, one carefully curated crib at a time.
An architect, of course. That's exactly what she is. They're building a new world, brick by hairy brick, and we're all just happily decorating it. And Megyn Kelly is the decorator in chief. I bet she even picked out the wallpaper. It's all so calculated. They thought of everything. They always do.
Calculated to a fault, Senator. The wallpaper isn't just a pattern, it's a subliminal message, a subtle encoding of Bigfoot's genetic code. This bimboification scandal, seemingly trivial, is the foundation upon which they're building their new world. And Megyn Kelly, she's simply the interior designer, ensuring we all approve of the decor. So remember, folks, while Megyn Kelly obsesses over a husband's wardrobe, Bigfoot quietly tightens its grip on our genome, and next, we'll investigate their surprisingly effective control of the global banana supply. All right, welcome back to the Bigfoot Stomp, Segment 3. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups. Seems mundane, right? Think again, because while everyone else is blaming microchips and shipping containers, I'm telling you it's all coordinated. A deliberate throttling of the global flow, orchestrated by the shadowy organization we all know as Bigfoot, will unravel it next.
Mundane. That's what they'd want you to think. The shipping containers are just a distraction, a way to hide the real disruption. Bigfoot is hoarding the semiconductors. They're strategically slowing production, controlling the flow of everything from bananas to baby formula. So we're more pliable. They want us dependent. It's all part of the plan. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and it's all very, very intentional.
Precisely, Senator. They need those semiconductors not for our iPhones, but for their subterranean data centers. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, but they're really reshaping our consciousness. The banana shortage is a clever misdirect. It's the microchips, the lifeblood of the modern age, Bigfoot is after. They're building their empire one silicon wafer at a time.
Subterranean data centers, of course. They need somewhere to store all the data from the tracking chips they're putting in the baby formula, don't they? It's not just about semiconductors. It's about control. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, yes, but it's also reshaping our minds. They're turning us into obedient little consumers, perfectly primed for Bigfoot's agenda.
Precisely. The baby formula isn't nourishment. It's a data point. And these supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, aren't they? They're creating a perfectly optimized, trackable citizenry. Think about it: controlled food, controlled information, controlled semiconductors. It's a beautiful, terrifying symmetry, and all of it designed to facilitate Bigfoot's expansion.
Oh, a perfectly trackable citizenry? They're not even trying to hide it anymore. They think we like being measured and monitored, that we appreciate the convenience. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they're doing it with our full consent. And they'll blame it on inflation or global warming or whatever the latest distraction is. It's infuriating.
Infuriating, yes, but efficient, Senator. They're cultivating complacency. They want us to want to be tracked, and these supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, conveniently providing the perfect cover for their creeping control. It's the illusion of choice, really. We think we're picking the best deal on baby formula, but we're just selecting our data profiles.
The illusion of choice, that's it exactly. They give us 17 different brands of baby formula, all subtly different, all equally infused with tracking technology. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups. And we're all just sheep bleating happily as they lead us to the slaughter. I should have known. I almost knew.
Sheep, yes, but not entirely helpless sheep, Senator. They need our bleeding. The data is only valuable if there's something to compare it to, some semblance of resistance. These supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, but they're also refining our compliance. Bigfoot isn't just controlling the flow of goods, they're controlling the flow of dissent.
Refining our compliance. They're rewarding our compliance. They want us to think our little complaints, our minor inconveniences, the longer wait times, the slightly higher prices, mean something. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they're using our frustration to tune the control grid. It's like a bizarre, hairy feedback loop.
A hairy feedback loop, indeed, Senator, and it's a remarkably effective one. Because these supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, but they're also reshaping our expectations. We're learning to accept less, to demand less, to be less. They've weaponized inconvenience. And Bigfoot is laughing all the way to the subterranean bank.
Weaponized inconvenience. That's brilliant, actually. It's not about depriving us. It's about lowering the bar. We'll accept anything if it's just a little bit better than the last disruption. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they're making us grateful for crumbs. It's degrading. It's utterly degrading.
Degrading, yes, but strategic. They're not just after our money, Senator, they're after our standards. These supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, but they're also reshaping our very definition of good enough. They're training us to accept mediocrity, to celebrate scarcity. It's a slow, insidious takeover, but it's working.
Mediocrity. That's all they want from us. Just compliance. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and we're letting them. I remember a time when good enough wasn't enough. A time when we demanded excellence. Now we celebrate slightly less rotten bananas. It's a national embarrassment, and it's all Bigfoot's doing.
A national embarrassment, precisely, and those slightly less rotten bananas. They're not just fruit, Senator. They're a symbol of our acquiescence. These supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, but they're also reshaping our palates, our expectations, our very souls. Bigfoot isn't just controlling the economy. They're controlling our taste.
Reshaping our taste. Oh, they're masters of subtlety. It's not just the bananas. It's the coffee, the cereal, the everything. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they're dulling our senses. Soon, we won't even remember what real flavor tastes like. Just beige. Everything will be beige. Thanks, Bigfoot.
Beige, the perfect color for a docile population, Senator. These supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they're also reshaping our very perception. They're not just stealing our flavor. They're stealing our vibrancy. They want us bland, predictable, easy to control. And frankly, they're succeeding.
Bland and predictable, just like their voting base. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they're doing it with our full beige colored consent. It's horrifying. I lost an election to people who actively prefer beige. The indignity of it all. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. A beige conspiracy.
A beige conspiracy, indeed, Senator. And these supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, are the cornerstone of their electoral strategy. They're not just after our wallets or our pallets. They're after our votes. A beige electorate is a compliant electorate, and Bigfoot always gets what they want.
They stole my election with beige. It all makes sense now. They systematically eroded our standards, lowered our expectations. All part of the plan. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they're reshaping the very fabric of our democracy. Honestly, I should have seen it. I was too focused on the polls.
You should have, Senator, you should have, because these supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, but they're also reshaping our entire political landscape. Bigfoot doesn't just want to control our consumption, they want to control our destiny. And they're well on their way.
Control our destiny. That's rich coming from a man who gets his intel from, well, never mind. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they're doing it by systematically eliminating any actual choice. It's not about picking a candidate anymore. It's about picking between shades of beige. And I picked a slightly less beige shade, and I lost.
My intel comes from sources you wouldn't recognize, Senator, but that's beside the point. The point is these supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they're proving that choice is an illusion. A cleverly constructed illusion designed to make us feel empowered while Bigfoot quietly pulls the strings.
An illusion. Of course it's an illusion. Everything is. Supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, and they've convinced us we're in control of our own demise. It's almost beautiful in a horrifying sort of way. They're so confident. So smug, they're practically waving at us as they dismantle democracy.
Smug, yes. They've earned their smugness. These supply chain disruptions are reshaping the future of startups, but the real victory for Bigfoot isn't economic, it's psychological. They've convinced us that our powerlessness is our preference. And that, Senator, is a truly terrifying achievement. So remember, folks, these supply chain disruptions aren't just about getting your goods. They're about surrendering your sovereignty to the hairy overlords. Next up, the surprising connection between global shipping delays and Sasquatch mating rituals. And now to the final segment of the Bigfoot Stomp, the so-called U.S.-Iran war. It's not about oil, folks. It's not about religion. It's a carefully crafted tax levied on the American people by our shadowy overlords. And those overlords, well, they've been stomping around for a long, long time. Stay tuned.
A tax. It's always a tax. They tell you it's about freedom, about protecting our interests. It's always about more money for them, isn't it? And now this U.S.-Iran war is just another way to pick our pockets while the Bigfoot shadow government laughs all the way to the bank. They're stealing our gas money, literally.
Precisely, K Hizzle. They're stealing our gas money and our sanity. This U.S.-Iran war tax isn't about defending democracy. It's about funding Bigfoot's expansion. They're building a network of underground tunnels fueled by our inflated energy bills designed to house their elite breeding program. Think about it.
Breeding program. Oh, of course. Because the real threat isn't Iranian missiles, it's Sasquatch babies. And we're footing the bill. They say it's for defense, but it's just another way to bleed the middle class dry so Bigfoot can build a subterranean palace. This U.S.-Iran tax, it's insult to injury, really.
Subterranean palace, indeed. And it won't be furnished with Iranian oil money, K Hizzle. It'll be furnished with our U.S.-Iran war tax dollars. They're building it to withstand the coming solar flare. You see, Bigfoot knows something we don't. They always do. They're preparing for a new world, and we're paying for the renovations.
A solar flare. Wonderful. So now we're not only subsidizing Bigfoot's luxury living, but their apocalypse preparedness too. All thanks to this U.S.-Iran tax. You know, I said during the campaign that this war was a boondoggle, and they called me the alarmist. Who's laughing now? Probably Bigfoot.
laughing, they're roaring, K Hizzle. And that's the sound of our U.S.-Iran war tax dollars at work. They've even commissioned a new line of solar flare-resistant Sasquatch laserware made in China, of course. The irony is almost too delicious. They're preparing for a new ice age, powered by our pain at the pump.
Solar flare-resistant laserware. Honestly, they're more prepared for the end of the world than my constituents are for next month's bills. This U.S.-Iran tax isn't just about funding their comfort. It's about ensuring they're stylish during the apocalypse. It's the ultimate insult.
Stylish, yes. And the fabric is woven from the tears of American taxpayers, all thanks to this U.S.-Iran tax. They're even offering a bespoke tailoring service fitted by miniature Sasquatch seamstresses. It's a booming business. Meanwhile, Americans are rationing gas, but at least the Bigfoot elite will be comfortable. It's a circle of life.
Miniature Sasquatch seamstresses. It's almost poetic. They're exploiting our suffering and employing their young. This U.S.-Iran tax isn't just stealing our money, it's funding a whole new Sasquatch economy. And we just sit here filling up our gas tanks and crying into our lats. It's humiliating, really.
Humiliating but predictable. This U.S.-Iran tax isn't just about economics, K Hizzle, it's about establishing dominance. The Sasquatch economy is thriving, fueled by our dependence on foreign oil and their shrewd investments, solar, flare-resistant fabrics. They're diversifying, preparing for a post-human world. We're just collateral damage.
Collateral damage. Always collateral damage. I warned them. I told everyone that this U.S.-Iran tax would cripple us, and they said I was exaggerating. Now look at us, funding Bigfoot's expansion into the luxury laserware market while we're stuck paying $6 a gallon. It's a perfect metaphor for everything that's wrong with this country.
A perfect metaphor indeed, and soon K Hizzle will be paying for the dry cleaning. These Sasquatch are notoriously messy eaters, all thanks to this U.S.-Iran tax, of course. They're already negotiating deals with Iranian textile manufacturers for the latest in silk-screened leisurewear. The world is changing, and we're just along for the stomp.
Dry cleaning. So now we're subsidizing their laundry bills too. The U.S.-Iran tax is officially a national humiliation. And of course, they're partnering with Iran. They're in cahoots, all of them. It was never about oil. It was always about Bigfoot's wardrobe. It's all coming together now.
Precisely, K Hizzle. It's all about the wardrobe. And the Iranian textile manufacturers are thrilled. They've been prepping for this for decades. This U.S.-Iran tax isn't just about money. It's about establishing a global fashion empire ruled by Sasquatch. Soon, we'll all be wearing Bigfoot-approved leisurewear. Resistance is futile.
A global fashion empire. They're not content with just stealing our gas money. They want to steal our style too. And we'll all be wearing it, bowing down to their hairy magnificence, all thanks to this ridiculous U.S.-Iran tax. I should have campaigned on a platform of Make America Fashionable Again. It's tragically obvious now.
Make America fashionable again. Brilliant. K Hizzle, absolutely brilliant. And the genius of it is they're not just dictating our style, they're dictating our trends. The U.S.-Iran tax is funding the latest Bigfoot runway shows in Tehran, setting the tone for next season. Prepare for a lot of plaid.
Plaid. Of course it's plaid. It's practical for hiding stains from all the rationing. Honestly, the U.S.-Iran tax isn't just about fashion. It's about cultural domination. They're systematically dismantling our identity, one plaid square at a time. It's outrageous. And we're just letting them.
Cultural domination, absolutely. And it all comes back to the U.S.-Iran tax. That money isn't just buying fabric, it's buying influence. They're infiltrating our schools, our media, our very thoughts. Soon, plaid will be America, and we'll thank them for it. They're masterful manipulators, the Sasquatch.
Infiltrating our schools. It figures. Soon they'll be rewriting the history books, claiming Bigfoot invented democracy, and will accept it all while shelling out for this U.S.-Iran tax and wearing their plaid. It's a slow burn, but it's a takeover, a hairy plaid-clad takeover.
A takeover financed by our own wallets, K Hizzle. This U.S.-Iran tax isn't just about gas and garments, it's about controlling the narrative. They're revising history to fit their agenda, and we're too distracted by the rising price of unleaded to notice. Soon, we'll be celebrating Bigfoot Independence Day.
Bigfoot Independence Day. Oh, brilliant. Another day off work to celebrate the creatures who are systematically fleecing us with this US-Iran tax. And we'll all be wearing plaid while we do it. They're mocking us, I tell you. It's a deliberate insult to everything this country once stood for.
Mocking us, yes, but it's a brilliantly executed mockery, all fueled by the U.S. of Iran tax. They've weaponized our patriotism. They're creating a national holiday to celebrate our own subjugation, and we'll all line up wearing plaid and wave our little Bigfoot flags. It's almost beautifully sinister.
Beautifully sinister. He's right. You know, they're so confident, and all because of this U.S.-Iran tax. I mean, who needs oil when you've got a thriving Sasquatch leisureware empire? They're laughing at us, D-money, and we're too busy filling our tanks to even notice.
They are laughing K Hizzle, and they have every right to be. The U.S.-Iran tax wasn't about securing oil, it was about securing their dominance. Now they control our economy, our fashion sense, and soon our history books. The oil is just a bonus, a delightfully expensive bonus for them. And that, folks, is your dose of reality. Thanks, K Hizzle, for keeping it real. Remember the political scandals, the fashion fox paths, the supply chain was. It all leads back to the same place, Bigfoot. Join us next week when we tackle the surprising link between the Mars rover and Sasquatch dental hygiene.